scenario, if I ask you to think about writing a novel, then you must be having a storyline. You must be having some plot, some characters, and then you make that, weave that, knit that story, and then you finally start from there and then you end it. So it's a kind of, already the idea is there in your mind. Before you start, end is already there in your mind. You're already confirmed that these are the things, this is the aspect which I need to take, these would be my characters, these are positive, these are negative, these many plots are there, and I am writing a novel. This is what we can simply say. This is not the scenario here. In Victorian time, when Charles Dickens is writing, by that time, this writing as a profession is new. Many of the writers, they are taking this writing as a profession, as their life. So, what I am trying to tell you is that the aspect, this is a writing as a concept is being taken, as a profession is being taken. And Bleak House, when it is written, he did not have the idea exactly, this will be the line of story, this is what, but he simply had one theme, that he wanted to address legal aspect of British society. Believe me, this aspect, this legality of British society is so pathetic, so horrific, so frustrating, and so intolerable. It's unimaginable for any common man to get into the lawsuit and win it and live the life ordinary. It's difficult, it's unbelievable. It is so frustrating. We know this has happened, we know these are the laws, but there is no outcome of the result. So, this idea somewhere he's taking. Here, he plays as a role of social reformer, as a legal advocate or a legal propagator. And he's playing as a role because that's how, by the time, there are certain things which appeals to human beings. There are certain things which appeal naturally to our mind. Imagination. Start thinking about imagination. Good scenario, beautiful pictures. That's why in Bollywood songs, in one 5-minute song, they change 40 dresses. And one dance step is here and the other is in London. Because they know, the director knows the background Switzerland ka hai. And our heroines, they never have any problem. They're always fresh. That's what the human nature. We don't want to be in tension, believe me. And this gossip is also one of the aspects which appeals human mind. He would have written about gossip, filmy story. So, what I'm trying to say, he would have taken the lighter aspect of humanity which are actually affecting society at large. Okay, that's how in most of his novels you see Little Dorrit, Oliver Twist, and Pickwick Papers, Great Expectations, this Hard Times, and this Bleak House. Every single text is focused for a particular aspect of society, and it's bringing out the situation. And it is not simply bringing out the situation. What does he say? As a layperson, as a human being, we are aware about our own circumstances. I'm aware about this classroom. I know from that building to this building. I know where I am from. So I know about myself. A little bit somewhere I know about others also. So we are narrow perspective. But Charles Dickens make us as an eagle. It takes us to the highest level and make us to watch everybody. So I'm not aware about my own circumstances. I'm aware about everyone's other circumstances. I'm affected by their good and by their bad. Okay, so that's how the beauty of Charles Dickens is there. Okay, so Charles Dickens is not only, believe me, this time, no entertainment is there, no reels, YouTube reels, Insta reels, no shorts, no satellite, no das, all internet, nothing is there. The only means of entertainment is writing. He would have written about gossip. He would have written about imagination. Love, romance. But he's taking the most bitter aspect of society. That's why he's so great. When you read about Oliver Twist, you could actually think, by the time when the industrialization started, that dirt, exploitation, abuse, overpopulation, all these problems, it is worldwide, my dear. That's how, when we talk about trade union, you know what? When industrialization started, when the factory system started, and when the workers were employed in the factories, you know what is the height of exploitation of those workers? 18 to 20 hours. They were forced to work, no holiday, nothing. Then people started, unions were formed. People started working against those atrocious money lenders, capitalists, and workers demanded their rights. One day, the legal aspect which is talking is so much valuable. If we don't read Bleak House, we would never come to know how the law is forceful and painful and punishable to human beings the way it is working. It's a very common proverb, all of you must have heard. Justice delayed is justice denied. You need justice is an immediate delivery, dear. It is an emergency service, medical, fire, LPG, cooking gas, hospital, water. These are emergency services. You can't delay. Now things are changing. So let me just give you one simple paragraph I'm reading and you would come to know what is that significant thing. In this I will quote a very significant personality also, which would actually make you remember this aspect and you could be able to write down in your exam. When I'm speaking some significant names, please note it down. Okay? Please note it down. And in the midst of those struggles of a moral visionary such as Charles Dickens is no small ally. He takes in his hands the abstract matter of subject matter. Legal ethics give them the complex provocative life of a story. He gives us characters as fate shapes it. So it's not generally having a character in his mind. You start as a character. We don't know that a protagonist would always be strong, powerful and, a kind of example. No, it could be meek. It could be very submissive, just like Esther Summerson. We don't know why Esther is so confused. She's so disturbed. She's so, not so confident. So he gives us character as fate shapes it. He gives us chances and circumstances, good luck and bad luck, humor and melancholy, an opportunity not to figure out the world theoretically but put oneself in correctly. As a moral visionary, ethical, legal visionary, he left us situations to heed, people to know, a whole range of ethical matters to attend in a very special way. The personal emotion enabled by a novel, he knew to us the phrase. That is what one Southern Walker Percy, American writer, Walker Percy says, get all A's and flunk life. It is about Charles Dickens. I repeat, Southern Walker Percy quote, get all A is capital, A's apostrophe S. Get all, A is capital and apostrophe S, A's, and flunk life. Flunk life, F-L-U-N-K-L-I-F-E, unquote. Dickens offers reminder enough for people who preach a good tune of others and fail to heed in it everyday particulars of their lives. The Mrs. Jellyby of this world. The novel of Dickens offers us ourselves. What is me? See, what I am today. So how do you evolve? Charles Dickens gives offer us ourselves. You can actually see Easter summer sun is in all of us. You know, Easter summer sun is in all of us. Because as a child, it could not, but mostly it is there. So, Charles Dickens offer us ourselves. What I am is me. I am evolved. Anyway, okay. So, plenty of us flawed, all too many of us thoroughly wretched, and yet more of you is something graced by moment and longer of honor. So, we are wretched, plenty of us are not so well, and we are flawed. This is what he offers. There is another example I am giving here, that is, how many of you know about the Hitler's concentration camp? You know, there is no need to go into that detail. Whomsoever Hitler didn't like, he would be putting them into gas chamber or slow poison or slow death and all. And then how the people, like the humanity at the most wretched circumstances, where we cannot imagine even. You know, so in this one person who survived out of that concentration camp, his name is Viktor Frankl. Frankl. Viktor Frankl. Frankl. What he's saying about that? This is related to Charles Dickens, this novel. That's why I'm correlating. Remember the name? Viktor Frankl. He survived from the concentration camp and he was a physician. Physician में क्या? Concentration camp में doctor भी होगा. Okay. So, a physician who only barely survived years of Hitler's hell, I quote, we who lived in concentration camps can remember the man who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedom, to choose one's attitude. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. You know, they would do anything. How will I take is my way. They would call me anything. How I react and understand, that is my way. Still I rise. How many of you have listened the poem written by Maya Angelou? Still I rise. It's a beautiful poem. It's a beautiful poem. Still I rise. So listen it. A poem. I read it every day. And it gives so much of courage. Believe me. Maya Angelou was raped when she was at the age of 7 by her cousin. And out of this, then when she was in the hospital, she was asked who did this. So she pronounced the name, and next day she saw that the man was dead on the road. His dead body was there. So she thought as a child that because I spoke, that's why this man is killed by God. So out of this fear, and children take things their own way. We take things our way. So she didn't speak for almost up to the age of 11 or 12. 6 to 7 years she didn't speak anything. But by that time she read everything which was available nearby library. And that's why she got Nobel Prize. That attitude. You do whatever you like, it's my way, how I take it. Buddha says, don't become reactive. Respond. Respond to the situation. Don't become reactive. Response give you enough chance to think. So it's my way, my own attitude. As one goes over those words again and again, surely it is not inappropriate to thank Charles Dickens and his enormous hard-earned moral query. So now listen, please write these words. Moral visionary. Generating moral queries. Social reformer. Moral awareness or something. Once this word spoken is moral visionary. Generating moral query, moral visionary, and social reformer. Yes. Okay. Which he dug lifetime's efforts. Okay. He knew how constrained we all are, how hard it is for us to break free, to achieve a measure of continuing dignity. His exhortation of a particular profession, the law, we meet to honor its possible role in our lives, the best of bulwark against anarchy. The best, a bulwark against anarchy. So it's your defense. It's your defense and a pointer in the direction of fairness. Still, there are lawful or awful lapses he knew, and as we think, certainly also to point out often isolated and lonely good folk of the world. Charles Dickens seems to reach out to join hands with those Dr. Frankl described. And what does he say? Orphans all amid the terrible human disaster of our history, yet also heroes whom each of us need to remember with a certain tenacity, perhaps as we go about our daily lives, our daily business, including that of law. This is a very significant statement. Please write it down. Daily lives, daily business, including that of law. Law is a very significant aspect. You just asked to my foreign friends when they were going for that visa process. Everything is being inquired. I repeat this statement. As we go about our daily lives, daily business, including that of law. So, the way every single day you come to class, the way you go to your home, the way you take admission, the way you prepare exam, in between somewhere, law is there. The moment you feel injustice is there, you are going on a road and somebody point out you, hit you somewhere, you approach to law. Law is inevitable part of every single day. Every single day. The law works this way rather than that way. Behalf of these people rather than those people. This is a statement. I repeat, the law works this way rather than that way. Behalf of these people rather than those people. You got it? These people. I repeat, the law works this way. The law works this way rather than that way. Behalf of these people rather than those people. So you got it? What does it mean? Ridiculous appearance. This is the most horrible and this is the most, wretched face of law. It doesn't work my way. And what is the fault? The fault of mine is I'm a poor woman. I'm illiterate. And because of the society circumstances, society didn't give me a chance whether you would marry or not. They didn't give me chance. They didn't give me chance even to think and say whether I would have children or not. So because of the circumstances, because of the social customs, I am married, I'm having children, and they didn't allow me to study, to get a job, because the patriarchy wanted to use me as a labor. Clean. Work for us. Anyway. So what I'm trying to say is these are the aspects which he is raising. Okay, and believe me, when we are talking about Easter Summer Sun, it's not a matter of a simple character we are talking. We are trying to establish the legal rights of an orphanage child. Easter Summer Sun is orphan, and we are establishing where she would live. Because right now the moment you leave this classroom, after that you have, within next 6 hours, you have some place where you go. You put down your bag, you lie down and you eat food. These are basic things. Apart from any ideology, apart from anything, these are the basic. You need a washroom. These are the basic things which we need. Each of us need this. So, the law is there to provide my security, safety, dignity. And what Harriet Taylor Mill says? Liberty, equality, and right to be happiness. She says, liberty, equality, and right to be happy is my right as a woman. Where do I find pleasure? Maybe I want to become a writer. You got the point. So this is how. So law doesn't work for me low work for those who have money, power and privileges. Charles Dickens, when he was almost 8 to 12 years old, he was put in a jail. And what was the name of the jail? Marshalsea Prison. That was a jail which was for the debtors, those people who borrowed money. So his father borrowed money, and you see the law. The whole family will put in the jail. Small children, wife, everybody is put in the jail. And he lived there. When he got out of that jail, after that he worked in a shoe blackening factory. Right? So these experiences of moneyless child, powerless child, working with the extreme low wages, he suffered a lot. And these memories were so sharp, he couldn't bring out throughout his life. And that's how these are reflex we find in the writing. These are the reflections we find in his writing. So, what does he say? Charles Dickens says, the law is tedious rather than outrageous. The law is tedious rather than outrageous. And it talks the Chancery of London. Tedious rather than outrageous. Outrageous kya? When the last person of the bench or the last person of the country is affected positively. That is outrageous. So let's do that, and then it's a beautiful thing. In Bleak House, law is fog. Please write it down. In Bleak House, law is fog. In Great Expectation, law is snake. F-O-G, fog. And in Tale of Two Cities, law is footnote. I repeat, in Bleak House, the law is fog, F-O-G. In Great Expectation, law is snake. And in Tale of Two Cities, law is footnote. Footnote, F-O-O-T-N-O-T-E. And he says, all London is prison. All London is prison. I repeat, law is, in Bleak House, law is fog. Great Expectation, law is snake. In Tale of Two Cities, law is footnote. And he says, in all London is prison. As if everybody is gloomy, hopeless, and they are waiting for some conviction. That is what the situation and the face of Londoners are there. This is what we see. So, in Little Dorrit, law is pervasive confinement. Law is confinement. And what does he say? When you are studying Dickens, he says, how he become a grand writer. How he's so big, how he's so larger than life. He says, Orwell? George Orwell? Animal Farm. My favorite. So, George Orwell says, he brings native generosity of mind. George Orwell says, Dickens brings native generosity of mind. Native generosity means that the smallest characters of his novels, they are able to speak up their mind. Native generosity of mind. Native generosity of mind. And Dickens knew all the culture of narcissism. And he knew the seductive power of mirroring. Seductive power of mirroring. Okay, you want me to repeat the statement? What is that? I repeat again. George Orwell says, Dickens brings native generosity of mind. Dickens knew the culture of narcissism. Narcissism, Narcissism? Narcissism is a kind of obsession of a particular type. and which I think we all are narcissists. We all are narcissists in one or other way. Okay, so, and he brings the seductive power of mirroring.